So I'm going to talk today about something that you probably wouldn't expect, but I really hate these fake restoration videos. And they are just so obviously fake. But what makes me really, really sad is stuff like this. Wow, still loaded. Guessing the original owner didn't make it. No, dude, this is probably a fucking replica. He just bought it and just fucked it up on purpose. So many of these comments are like, oh man, like this is a real authentic gun. It's like, are you stupid? Like, I genuinely want to know, is this person stupid? Oh, well, of course, okay, yeah. Get stoned and listen to my hip hop. Yeah, okay, you're definitely stupid. But, this is like, I don't even need to watch the video to tell you this is fake. I could just take living in not a city for my whole life and, you know, just know that this is not real. Because first off, let me just throw some simple facts at you real quick. This is from the Bronze Age. These were discovered by some guy with a metal detector in Europe. So Scotland is Europe. It's incredibly muddy. It's a very wet climate. I mean, look, you can even see it's cloudy out because of how dark the picture is. So these were dropped in the ground like fucking 1,000 years ago, dealt with the mud, the corrosion, all of it. And what do we see? Not this. Where is it? Not this. We don't see this kind of shit. So 1,000 years. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm all over the place. 1,000 years of muddy ground sediment caking on does not lead to anything like that. Okay. But if we look, this is what it's like if you purposely drop a gun in mud and don't clean it. Okay. Well, we're starting to look pretty similar. But just look at this. You see how fucked up these guns are? Here's what I think he did. I think he did this right here.
And falls off, there are some oxides that form a durable and protective
Wow, doesn't that look fucking similar? Almost like you introduced the rust on purpose.
film that keeps the metal from corroding further. This process is...
And Practical Engineering talks about something pretty important right here. Just in general of his Rust series, rust doesn't add. Rust takes, not even really takes away for the most part. Rust is just a chemical alteration of the metal. That's all it is. So when you see these like caked on, like fucking, it looks like they battered the gun and then deep fried it. That is obviously fake rust. And another part I want to point out that is just so clearly fake. Look at this. Look at this. It's like, have you ever tried to get rust off of something before? This is Project Farm, another one of these fucking goated channels. And look, this is what actual rust removers look like. They either turn green or this like deep brown, like reddish color. And they'll turn reddish after enough time in the rust remover. They do not... Let me just close these tabs. They do not look like a bucket of dirty fucking water. This looks like you just dropped mud. You just dropped this in a bucket of mud, and then you put it under a heat lamp for a day to really cake the mud on there. So you can, like, you know, claw it out. Like, this is just not what rust removal looks like anywhere. Also, like, this is the internal components of the gun. Why are they just as rusted out as the external components? So if we go with the story here and that this was in the ground, in mud, then that means that this whole top was completely coated in mud. Well, why would areas like, you know, I don't know every fucking area of a PPSH, but like, you get my point. You know, why would the mud and rust be like here? You know, like in these internal components that are not exposed to the elements at all. And even if a tiny amount of mud gone in there, it would be nothing like this. Also, what does he take the screws out? Because here's something like that right there. I'm sorry, but if you have ever dealt with a rusty screw in your life, you will know you don't just fucking tap it lightly with a hammer and that fucker just comes right out. Even if you lube it up, even if you burn that thing. So let me go with a personal example. This is outside the septic system of my house. You see this nail? You see this? This is what a genuine, like, century of rust, you know, exposed to the elements look like. These bolts are not coming off. You need, like, industrial equipment to strip this fucking bolt out. This is an Amish, like, cart. This is what the Amish hook horses up to. This thing has been used. It is a working device. It has been used for like 70 years. This is what 70 years of being exposed to the elements actually looks like. So when you see something like this is obviously fake. And You can prove this stuff is fake partly because look at his channel. Just look at his channel. You know, it's like every couple weeks, this guy has a new expensive thing to like pull out and fix. And all of these expensive things are just perfectly uniformly rust coated with the exact same rust color. And first off, here's another thing. Generally speaking, rust like this that is like super aggressively copperized, this is what like recent rust generally looks like. If we go back to these pictures, you can see this looks far more weathered. It's far more crackly. Parts of it are turning green, which does depend on the steel. But like over here, we can see there's like these like rivet, like dimple almost protrusions along the rust. It's flaking. That's another big thing. Genuine rust causes the metal to flake off or like holes to form inside of it. These weapons are of 100% structural integrity. There's nothing flaking off. There's nothing. This couldn't possibly be 90 years old. I'm sorry, but this is impossible to just be rusted out in the ground, zero preparation for 90 years. There is absolutely no way. None. Period. Like, look at this. There's not a single hole or fleck of metal falling off or anything. And then as soon as you look, do you really think if you just strip off the first coat of rust, this looks almost like it's fucking brand new, apart from these, like, whatever these impact damages are? But, like, this barrel, this looks almost completely brand new. How did we go from... Where is it? Why is the YouTube... Okay, here it is. How did we go from this level of damage to this level of, like, almost brand new look just by stripping off rust? I'm sorry, but if something has been left out to rust, like, in the ground for 90 years, it doesn't look like this at all. At all. Also, I like pointing out how along the grooves here, areas where water would have a harder time settling on top of and penetrating, these are the areas with the least amount of rust. But these flat areas that would be faced like side up to the water, where it would receive the brunt of water if this were to be water treated to induce rust, this is the part that has the absolute most amount of rust. Almost like you just dropped it in some salt water. You know, but like one of the telltale signs that this stuff is completely fake is also stuff like this. Hey, those grips are very clearly not metal. But like if we look at when he has the whole gun here. Oh, conveniently the grips are out. This is another thing, by the way. Like, look, Luger grips aren't metal, so why is it rusted? You know, like this. Like there's so many examples of this, of wood and plastic getting rusted out. Like right here. Like, this is a plastic grip. Why is it rusted? The screw should be rusted, but why are there corrosion elements on this handle? This handle should be borderline pristine. But okay, maybe that's not enough. But don't you think it's very convenient how in like all of his videos, the parts that aren't metal are just conveniently missing from the guns? Doesn't that strike like, look, this is missing the wooden stock, missing the wooden handle, missing the wooden handle, missing the wooden handle. Isn't it just convenient how there's like only a single video? Oh, wait, here's another one that has the hand. Oh, no, wait, did he strip this off beforehand? Hold on, we are doing live in the field. It looks like he made sure to take these handles off. I'm just saying the one part that's like completely fucking impossible to fake, the part that would be impossible to fake, the non-metal handles and shit, literally every single one of them are just conveniently missing. Ain't that some shit? You know, then you look at the one time there is wood, and like this does not look like natural degradation of wood to me whatsoever. This almost looks like it's charred. You know, it's like black. I cannot think of a single natural like process other than just completely rotted out. I mean, even rotted out. But the story here is that found in the attic of my grandfather's. Yeah, look, I even left a comment saying like, I'm shocked how fucking stupid these people are. Because all of these comments are like, the fact it was your granddad's gun makes it sweeter. Great work. Dude, I know, like, throughout your, 60 years alive, you never learned critical thinking? You never learn to be skeptical? Like, let me just, hold on. Let me just, first off, 90 years of being mistreated and rusted out. If I took a hammer to that and those thin joints, those connector points, I just started hammering them. Dude, if something has truly been rusted out for even just like 20, 30 years, and you start hammering off little elements like straps and triggers, you'll see that the whole thing will just fucking fall apart. And then look right here. So this is in a wooden stock. Keep this in mind. In an attic inside of the wooden stock. How did it get rusted? How does it have a uniform coat of rust from here to like the inside, like the break where the gun would break right in the middle? Dude, this is probably like 7 inches, maybe 8 inches here of metal that is all completely uniformly coated in rust. And remember, the only way for rust to occur naturally is if an oxidizing element interacts with the metal. How, unless this weapon was like submerged in an attic flood, first off, how fucking stupid does that sound? Oh yeah, my attic flooded out and I let my gun float around in that attic flood for 20 years. Yeah, my attic was flooded for 20 years and I never bothered to deal with it. So unless you're going to make that, but this can't be water damage because this isn't what water-aged wood looks like. So it's impossible for this to be like massively waterlogged or anything like that. You know, it's just like look at this, like these springs and stuff. The only way for this to be, to like occur like this is if you dipped it in salt water for like a day. Yeah, imagine that. The mechanism was well preserved. But like, look at this. Look at this screw. He could just take a nail, or I'm sorry, he can just take a screwdriver to this screw and it just pops right out. Zero effort. No lubing it up. No like breaking down the rust. Doesn't even take a hammer and smack the rust away. No, he just walks up to supposedly a century-old rusted out nail and with zero effort just delicately pulls it right out. It's like, dude, you can tell this is content for fucking suburbanite city people that have never had to maintenance anything in their life. Because even a 10-year-old rusty screw is like, that motherfucker is impossible to pull out. And the worst part is, you want to see what an authentic... Hold on. Grease gun restoration. Look at this. This is what authentically aged weapons look like. Right here. This is what a genuine, authentically aged thing would look like. Also, notice how when he chemically bathes the coating off, the rust, notice how it does not turn into just muddy, dirty water. Exactly like we saw with the project farms. And look, the moment he hits this at all with like anything, with just about anything, where is it? The moment he starts touching this, look, it's like it turns off into dust. This is what genuine, real rust looks like. Like, if I'm looking for real rust, one of the first things I'm looking for is these holes. Have you ever seen, like, sheet metal? Because that's the other thing. Most of these old grease guns are, like, every single one of them, they were stamped quickly out of sheet metal, most of them. When sheet metal rusts, it fucking degrades. It just completely poofs out of existence. You know, yeah, like right here. He just taps it with a screw hammer and entire sections of the gun start caving in. This is what genuine, authentic century of rust looks like. I have not a single doubt in my mind that any bit of this is fake, because just my own personal experience dealing with rust, this is 100% exactly what I would expect. But like this kind of shit, this is not a single thing that I would expect from an actual rusty piece of metal. I just hate this fake stuff.